fade back in. Sorry about the fade out there now. It seems hard to pick back up the reason. So we're just going to jump in anyway about the Noah anyway, you know. And the ways and means of knowing. You understand? Like I said before, knowing is to know you have to live. You know what I mean? There is no believe in knowing, you know what I mean? But the knowing way is a hard way still, you know. Because no one ain't going to believe you anyway. You know what I mean? The believers ain't believing you because they are stuck in the belief. And the unbeliever won't believe you anyway because they are in their unbelieving mood. Don't think that your family is going to embrace you, you know? Understand, you know what I mean? This is why they know I have to be firm. You know what I mean? Because maybe your family is going to abandon you, you know what I mean? More likely your friends, you know what I mean? You won't have anyone loving you or walking with you, you know what I mean? Especially a serious knower like me. That's why I don't even have a female in my life then. Because my female companion decided that because I talk about the same thing for 20 years, I was a boring man, you know what I mean? Yeah, so to know is not an easy road, you know. Because for a start, everyone will think that you are a madman. Even me here speaking to you in this very hot My Witch Doctor outfit, when people see it, they think that, oh, there is a madman, you know what I mean, or a lunatic or a very funny man. You know what I mean? So to know, you know what I mean, is really, I think I read somewhere where they call it the dark night of the soul. You know what I mean? You have to be able to endure what Rasta calls sufferation. You know what I mean? Endurance, as we'd call it. Because the race is not for the swift, but for those who can endure sufferation to the end. You see what I mean? So, knowing or to know is not an easy thing, you know what I mean? But it's a worthwhile thing, you know what I mean? Like I say, there is no... take me for instance as I know I know. If God should have for me the whole planet, you know what I mean, God says, alright then. Because you know you can have this whole planet. I wouldn't accept it for knowing. I'd rather know than have the whole planet, you understand? So knowing is a funny thing, you know what I mean? You don't know what it is, but you just know that you know it. You understand? So, and you wouldn't swap it for anything, knowing. Imagine that. You get the whole world, yeah? And you say you wouldn't swap it for knowing, and you can't see knowing. Well, I told you God was a magician. Well, such is the magic of knowing, you know what I mean? But knowing is, in the way that I'm talking about, you know, is, I can tell you, a lot of billion% certain that I have seen the terrible and dreadful one. I'm quite certain, like I tell you before, that the other masters who come to know, I pick up by the reason now. There are degrees of knowing then, as it was. You know what I mean? You can know through feeling and hearing and all that. So we had some masters, lots of masters before, and they know perfectly well. But like I tell you, if you go and read their story, they'll never tell you that they had seen the one. You see what I mean? Because they didn't. Well, if they did, they would have reported the matter. But I am a knower who is reporting the matter. That yes, I have located the terrible and dreadful one himself. And I have seen the one, and I have been under the tuition and guidance of that one. I am not taught by any channeling any beings, you know, I don't have any master in the unseen or in the scene. Yeah, I do have one master in the unseen, the terrible and dreadful one himself, Rastafari, you know what I mean? And I'm telling you that one is the ultimate bad boy. Never mind your name, you know, but like I tell you, Jesus and Muhammad and the Buddha and some other great beings. There is no one greater than the one. Get it in your silly little head. You know what I mean? The one is the Almighty. You know what I mean? And I have seen that one. And so that's how I am 3,000 billion% certain that this is the one that is dwelling in you. The same one that you call conscience, you know what I mean? He's the one that is watching you. He's the one that you can never get away from, you understand? He's the one that sees all your little dirty deeds, even though you are trying to hide it, you know what I mean? Plus already, like I told you, he's located the black box. You know how you like to call things black on this planet. You know, black magic, blackmail, you know, black Monday, anything. So yeah, I have adopted the term the black box for the memory, signifying that, you know, like when an airplane crashes, you know. Same thing when you human being crash. Crash mean when the mighty death come for you. It's just around the corner, you know. Mighty death. A very funny guy death. I must say. He will introduce himself to you one day. For sure. Yeah. Lots of people, he will introduce himself to you one day. And when he does, you won't be taking your body with you, like I say, but your black box will be going. Your black box is your memory. And on that memory is recorded either your good deeds or your little dirty deeds. Because you have some little human beings, you know. I have to keep repeating, I have to call them little. They have some little human beings on this planet. Because God is mighty, you know. We are only small like ants, eh? And these little human beings are here farm up themselves into little groups, calling themselves Masons and Illuminati and Skull and Bones and some other names. I don't know all of the names that you are calling yourself. You know what I mean? So you farm yourself in these little organizations to hide away your little dirty deeds from your fellow human beings. But your fellow human beings are of no importance in the matters of God, you know. You understand what I mean, idiots? You should be worried about the terrible and dreadful one that is within you and his laws that you are breaking and the fact that he's videoing you and your memory. How are you going to get away from that? Are you stupid? No, I shouldn't be asking if you're stupid, I know. You know, like a repeat, if you was walking down the road and a blind man walked into you, you would immediately understand that the man did it because he's blind. You are doing these things because you are blind. Somebody tricked you and convinced you that you could escape the laws of the terrible and dreadful overlord himself. But there is no way of escaping this law. You understand? The universe is run by law. I tell you. Yeah, the universe is run by law. So how are you going to escape your judgment? There is only one way you can escape your judgment, that is to change your little dirty ways. You understand? Well, anyway, because my brethren Marius is holding the camera, see? We're going to fade out and come in another time from the firehouse of the Noah. Rastafari, fading out, you know. Right, welcome back to the reason about knowing, you know. Knowing doesn't mean that you know everything, you know. You know what I mean? So, as for me as a knower, I don't know about angels and such things. That doesn't mean that angels and such things doesn't exist. I'm just saying that I don't know about them. And I don't have any interest in them. I want to know about them. You understand? I am not saying that ghosts don't exist. You know what I mean? But I don't have no interest in ghosts and what they are doing. I'm not saying archangel or whatever beings are different kind of beings. I'm not saying they don't exist. You understand what I mean? I'm just saying I don't know about them and neither do I want to know about them. So it's like, because we grew up in Jamaica, I use a principle like I tell you. In knowing you have to learn to mind your own business. You understand? Because when you interfere in things that is not your business, you are likely to get yourself into mix-up. You understand? So, even where God is concerned, I don't interfere in God's business, like I tell you. I don't really want to know who was the first man on the planet, when it started, how it started. You understand? I just find myself here and everything was working perfectly well. So I don't have no reason to inquire into why it's, you know what I mean, and when it starts or how it starts. That is not the interest of this particular Noah, you know what I mean? This particular Noah only knows about what is right and correct. You see what I mean? That's why, like I tell you, I don't have no meditation to teach to people. I know no great spiritual message or anything. The only message I know is what we in Rasta call truth and rights. You know, what is right and what is correct. You understand? And like I tell you, because I have seen the one, I know for 1,000,000,000,000% certain that this one is in you. And you and whoever, you know, here and there and everywhere. That's not something that I believe. This is something that I know, you understand? Because you see how Noah is though. If you are a Noah, I reckon, you have something to say. You know what I mean? But when you don't know nothing, you just have to repeat what people tell you or what you hear. You understand? Well, you know, you won't find me now. It's not say I don't appreciate the words of Jesus, you know, or the Buddha, you know. Yeah, some great, you know, Plato or Socrates or Lao-Tzu and, you know, the I Ching and the Hindu scripture, some great Upanishads and some great reasoning and some great men. But when I am speaking, I don't go about and repeat what great men and great speakers say, because some of these teachers was more educated than me and they use more eloquent words. You understand what I mean? But it doesn't matter, even if I was eloquent myself, I still wouldn't be repeating how they say it, you know, because Noahs are not like that. Noahs just talk about what they themselves know. So the other Noahs who know them, as an example, this is how Noahs is. You have Noahs and Noahs, yeah? So let's say you have some Noahs, like say Jesus. He could only talk about what he knows. He could never talk about what he knows. And any spiritual master who come upon this planet, they can only talk about what they know. You understand? So as a Noah, you can only talk about what you know. So if I tell human beings that God is living in all human beings, it's not because I believe it, you know. It's because I know it. You understand? So I am not a Noah who says, oh, God is up in the sky. I don't deal with God up in the sky. I deal with the living God that dwells within all human beings, male or female. You understand what I tell you, sir? As a lion, we don't rap it. You understand? Because as a Noah, we don't follow men. We don't follow Jesus. We don't follow Muhammad. We don't follow the Buddha. We don't follow angels or archangels. You understand? We follow the one, the living one that these fools call conscience. You understand? Because when we rap it, we don't joke. So you find out that's how we rap it. As Noahs in this time, you understand? We don't mince word, like we say. We don't follow believers and we don't follow unbelievers. Well, I know I would never do a thing like that, man. You understand? Noah know things and just talk things. You understand? Well, I would say if you know God, God will give you the words to speak, wouldn't it? Yes, you know, Harry. So anyone who knows God must be able to speak the word of God. Otherwise, you just believe in God. You know what I mean? And if you are a believer, all you are talking like a teller. Believers have a lot of followers. So an example like I tell you, if you go on your God channel, you will see a lot of believers following a lot of, like I tell you before, the truth. If the truth was the, not if it was, it is the antidote for the mind, yeah? But the human beings are so gullible that they would rather accept poison. The poison now is this religious garbage that these, like I say, if you go on the God channel, you can see them spewing it out. And the people are receiving it gladly in their thousands, you know what I mean? Well, we're living in a time of idiocy, you know? Yeah, this is the time of idiocy where, like I tell you before, lunatics have taken over the asylum. So we live in where the earth is in total darkness and total, as far as this now is concerned, madness, lunatical, idiocy. And that is what is, you get medal for being an idiot on earth, you know. Oh yeah, you get medals and you might even receive a sir, you know. And you might even receive, if you're a very good idiot, you might even receive a statue. Yes, I have never seen such idiocy in all my life where I could really grasp in my understanding that these are beings that the terrible and dreadful one has created with intelligence, and that they have fallen to this level where they are giving medals and awards, and you know what I mean. Let us ease up now, Marius, ready to stand up, you know. So you find out then that when you don't know, people behave in all kind of crazy kind of manner, you understand? And that's why it's essential